Hopefully you looked at this parallel proofs worksheet number 1 and hopefully you can get started. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to assess on proofs at all, but something like this I think is very, very basic. And I think from what you already, know, you should be able to get pretty far on these. So one thing I'm going to think about is I tell you that DH is parallel is parallel. So what you want to remember is if I tell you they're parallel, that's transversal. So right now, 1 and 3, I can say are congruent with the corresponding. This is a transversal, and there's nothing else on this except 2. So I can't do anything. I'm trying to prove that P and Q are parallel. Well, if I want to prove they're parallel, then I need to make a relationship among 2 and 3, or 1 and something down here, something down there. So as you can see, if I can get 2 and 3 to be congruent as the corresponding, then I can say the lines are. So I'm going to do my given. Okay. And not really too much here. We've already talked about it. These are parallel. This is a transversal. So that's a transversal. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because corresponding angles postulate. Right now, angle 1 crosses out with angle 1 and angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Substitution. So now that I have angle 2 and angle 3 congruent, they are corresponding. That tells me that this line and this line must be parallel. E parallel to this. Why? What are 2 and 3? Corresponding angles converse. So you don't want to, you just want to make sure that if you are ending with proving lines are parallel, that you use the converse. Okay. And I don't think I'm even going to go through every single one of these. I'll do a couple more. All right. Hopefully you pause the video and try this by, try it first. So let's get started if you already tried it. So I'm going to write my given. All right. I'm going to make sure I know what they're saying. N and M are parallel, which means this is a transversal. So what relationship do I have right here? 1 and 3 are alternate interior. If blue lines are parallel, they must be congruent. So angle 1 must be congruent to angle 3. Alternate interior angles theorem. I don't care too much that you put the theorem, but you cannot put converse there. That's all you have to make sure. I'm trying to get, we already have 1, 1, angle 2 congruent to angle 3, right? 1 is 2, 1 is 3, cross out 1, that's a substitution. Okay, and because of that, I can now see that 3 and 2 are alternate interior on that blue transversal, which then shows me P parallel to R. Alternate interiors, angles, converse. You do need the converse if you are proving lines parallel. All right, let's look at this one. G is parallel to H, so G is parallel to H. That tells me this is a transversal. I'll do a different color. This is a transversal. So I know that 1 is congruent to 2. I know that 2 and 3 are a linear pair. That has nothing to do with parallel lines, but I can tell they're a linear pair if I need them. I might, given that I know 1 and 4 are supplementary, that I'm trying to prove P parallel to Q. In order to do that, I either need to prove that 2 and 4 are supplementary, or I have the option to prove 3 and 4 are congruent by alternate interior. So I actually have 2 ways. I can say 2 and 4 are supplementary. That would prove that they're parallel by same side interior. Or I need to prove 3 congruent to 4. So let's see what. All right. So G, I'm definitely going to angle 1 2 alternate interior angle theorem. I'm going to get that. Oh, it's kind of silly. Right there's enough. 5, 1, and 4 are supplementary. 1 is congruent to 2. Angle 2 and angle 4 are supplementary by substitution, by simply just taking 1 and crossing it out and putting in a 2. And if 2 and 4 are supplementary, that's enough to tell me P is parallel to Q by the same side interior angles converse. And the converse says that if they are supplementary, they would be, then the lines must be parallel. All right, this is the last one we're going to do, and this is actually proving the alternate exterior converse, but we're going to see, okay, all I tell you, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, that's given. I don't have any sets of parallel lines yet. I'm trying to prove A is parallel to B, so I can put that down here. I'm trying to prove that's parallel. The only thing in this figure, so here's the thing, I'm trying to prove that these are parallel. Well, in order to prove them parallel, if I can get angle 1 to be congruent to angle 3, then I can say the lines must be parallel. So all I can do, though, is say angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Y, VACT, good. And then I can cross out 2 and say angle 1 congruent to angle 3, which is transitive or substitution. And now if 1 is congruent to 3, A must be parallel to B by corresponding angles converse. And that's it. I think that's enough to give you an idea of how these proofs would work. What I'm going to do now is also send out the review sheet. I will have a video, or I'll send out my answer key. It's a lot of parallel lines and looking for relationships among the parallel lines.